Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, back again with the fourth layout for Hope and Kindness. And if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. This is the project that we're going to be putting together. And I hope that you like it. Please leave me a comment or give me a thumbs up if you like this. So we're on to it. This is a super easy kind of layout that you can do with all sorts of scraps. All of those 1 inch and 1 inch, 1.5 inch pieces, those are all things you can do with any of your papers. So here we go. So here's my 4th page protector with all of my stuff, hopefully in it for each layout. And I'm using my Close to My Heart layout pad that has the measurements all around the 4 edges, and on the back side is a very soft foamy cushion that is perfect for stamping and using our acrylic stamps. So the background paper I love, just saying, that is part of the cardstock that comes with the paper bundle coordinating cardstock, the coordinating cardstock with the paper, or if you get the bundle, then you'll get the paper and the stickers and the coordinating cardstock and the little wooden ornaments, and you also get this wonderful stamp set that has all those little flowers or thin cuts from that stamp set. Now this is an extra, well, no, I think it may come with the bundle. Anyway, this doily, we use it for a number of the pages, and they make absolutely beautiful large and small doilies. I used my tri-blend markers to color all of those little flower bouquets. So super easy. I usually use the 3 shades to get kind of some dimension to the coloring instead of just all flat and one color. So here we go. So these are strips that I cut. They're 12-inch strips that one of the papers has a whole bunch of the strips. And so you just cut those strips apart. And then the couple of the others are other papers. So I am just ripping the top and bottom off of each of these strips. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just taking enough of a chunk so that it kind of fits within I'm taking a little bit more, so it fits within on the white area of the cardstock. And you can, if you rip away from you won't get the white showing of the inside of our papers. I like the white showing, and so I rip it towards me so that I get a nice chunk of that. So, I mean, we're talking simple. So you can make like 1-inch strips or 1.5-inch strips or 3/4-inch strips. Just give it a little variety, and you can use any of your scrap papers that you probably have tons of. If you're anything like me, they're going to take me over one day. I actually gave 8 kind of those plastic milk crates. I gave 8 of those stuffed with all sorts of scrapbooking supplies that I've accumulated over many years to my son's high school. I mean, he graduated from a long time ago, but the art department, the person in charge, the director of the art department, was so happy. He brought out 10 of his students to help carry in all the stuff. I didn't have to lift a finger. So they were so happy to get extra supplies for them to use just at their will. So if you have extra supplies, you may want to consider one of your local schools. So I kind of used the top and bottom measurements on my pad to just kind of put these in place, and they started at about 4¼ inches over from the edge, I believe. And this is going up like three or 3¼ inches up from the bottom. Or no, let's see, 2 inches. I lied, sorry. And over. But you can pretty much eyeball these things. And so this white daisy is going to go on there. And I'm just using the, yay, a 5x7. Woohoo. So you need to have a really good picture that you can enlarge to a 5x7 to put as a highlight on this page. Yay. I love the 5x7s. So you get a really good view of what's going on. So what was I saying? So I am kind of eyeballing, using a little bit of the measurements that they suggest in the directions. But you can kind of eyeball with the instructions and what they look like. So here's another one of the different kind of journaling strips that's going on this page. So now what I'm doing here is I'm leaving a little bit of space in between. So I kind of remember that that is a journaling strip. It may get lost in the shuffle if I just I've been putting them right up next to the cardstock, but I decided to move it down just a tad. So this is Desert Rose, and I am just taking one of my pieces of sponge. We sell these round sponges, and then I cut them into eighths. So, I mean, it's like $1.49 for the sponge, or close to it. And then I knock them down to an eighth of that. So, I need to throw that one out. It's just like so inked up, it's not even funny. And I'm just lightly putting an edge on the little doilies. And then I'm eventually gonna, I do it on the edge of the big one too. Even though it's craft, and this is not gonna show up as pink, it's just gonna darken the edge to just kind of make it stand out and give it a kind of a little bit of an antique look. Because like I said before, I think this kind of has a retro feel to it to me. And once again, I'm a doily. Now, if you don't like doilies, you don't have to use them, but I'm a doily fan. As I said, I think the last video that I have doilies made by my mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother around my house. So I like doilies. I like the little pieces of memory that are around my house. And this reminds me of that. Now, that one pink doily that has various shades, that was a piece of cardstock that was cut apart. It was one of the kind of picture my life type card pages that it was. There's like 4x6 and 3x4s, and I stamped that on one of the 3x4 pieces to get various colors in there that kind of coordinates with, of course, all the rest of the colors, because that's what Close to My Heart does. Everything is perfectly coordinated. Even our tri-blend markers, they're all very well coordinated with our papers. Excuse me. So that was one of the strips from one of those Picture My Life cut aparts. And it's strips of little phrases to use. So this is wild and free. So now I've got to come up with a picture that expresses wild and free, which could be one of my dogs in the backyard, actually. She's just like crazy girl. I've got the little foam dots. Everything that I use, I get from Close to My Heart. So the foam dots are on the website under adhesives, and pardon me, too much wind in Texas. The circle there that I'm pulling little squares off of, that's actually a shaker, part of a shaker window. And I'm using the insides of that are cut apart to use as lifts for the papers, in the flowers. So that's what I was talking about. That's what I used to cut one, and now I'm using it for this one. And look at what it does with this sticker. Is that like perfect? Absolutely perfect. So that's going to get lifted up with these squares. And these are pretty tall. This foam is thicker than those little tiny dots. So you get various dimensions when you use different thicknesses of the foam adhesives. So I have to tell you, all of those thin cuts of the flowers, it was a lot of work, but it was really kind of very zen to color them. And I usually outline the edge in the darker and then use the medium to kind of bring it in a little bit, and the final go around is with the lighter color. Excuse me. So this is one of the die cuts that I absolutely love. I think it's gorgeous. And so it's going to be peeking out from around the various flowers and the stickers. So I'm going to put, and what I'm doing is I'm not putting the stickers all around the pieces. I'm just putting it under the areas that are not going to go on top of the picture. So what I can do is slip the pictures underneath that flower and the sticker. So you want to kind of keep in mind, unless you're putting your pictures down while you're making the layout, then if you want to put the the adhesive on top of the picture, you can. Now, even if I had the picture, I probably wouldn't do that. I just would not want to do that. But that's just me. I mean, a lot of the other close to my heart makers put all their adhesives right on top. They would stick those flowers on top of the pictures. That's your decision. That's totally up to you. This is one of the, see, that's the bag of hearts, wooden hearts that you get, the embellishments. And what I like about all of our wooden embellishments, we have quite a few, and they come in various shapes. Excuse me, like we've got some wooden flowers, and they can be colored. The ink just soaks right into the wood, and it takes up the color beautifully. So you can coordinate all your wooden embellishments with tri-blend markers to match. And so I'm adding a little, this is our strongest adhesive. It's called liquid glass. And I'm putting my little embellishments down with that. So the hearts in this package come in all different sizes and all different types. Closed hearts, open hearts, hearts in a little thought bubble, which is cute. And this was a little tiny flower that was one of the thin cuts that came with that stamp set. So I'm making this heart in the yellow gold because it's going to be down there by that little yellow flower. I could have made it the coral like I did the rest, but every so often I decide to do something a little different. So, and I'm adding some dots to this just to add something a little different. So I use the white gel pen that we have, and it's kind of fun. I thought, well, I'll get this, but I'll never use it. Well, you know what? I've used it a lot, and I really, really like it. So you can add some texture, maybe, if you want to call it that, to various darker things uh, papers and you want to add a little bit of a white touch. So you can add, stitched lines, or in this case, the dots. But I really like that white gel pen. Any of the items that you see me using, you can find them at dorothy.closetomyheart.com, my website, down at the bottom there. So we are looking for what goes next. And the title of this is going to be So Beautiful. And I'm definitely popping it up with my larger little shaker window pieces. I love that they don't just give you the rim to go around the shaker window, but it's a full circle or oval or square or heart shape. We have shaker windows in all sorts of shapes and sizes. So they're super fun. I haven't done one in a long time. I'm going to have to do one. So I'm just kind of tucking some flowers under and over the title. Some are going to be flat. So it's always nice to dimension adds interest to your layouts and your cards. So, use different. So if you just do the Tombow, then you're going flat. If you use the thin foam dots, then, you've got another dimension. And then if you go to the shaker window or our thicker tapes, foam tapes, then you can add, a third dimension to things. And there I'm putting that right over so it kind of flows around the beautiful. So this is really coming out pretty. There's a lot of activity on these papers. If you like things that are, have less punch to them, then you can use plain cardstock instead of the flowered cardstock for the strips, for instance. So just as a suggestion, it depends. Some people like things that are very detailed or fussy, if you want to say, and other people are more plain. So I tried the medium tri-blend marker, and I like the deeper color. So, and look, you can dot it around there. You don't have to, put it on in long strokes. You can even dot it around, and it just absorbs so quickly and it actually spreads a little bit too. So it's pretty easy to do it if you dot it. Maybe not a really big piece, but certainly the tiny pieces. So look at all those die cuts. Just so you know, I kept it in the plastic bag because there's a lot of small pieces that have kind of fallen off the die cut sheet. And so I didn't want to lose any of them. So I just kind of kept it in the plastic bag, even though it was a little awkward to use. Okay, on to page 2. Gosh, don't you just love that background? And I'm glad that they didn't use a solid white background on it. You can see some of the darker color coming through. And it's just kind of washed around. The edges aren't precise edges. And I just love that, which, look, it kind of goes with the ripped pieces, doesn't it? So, I know that somebody in their infinite art brain just decided that it had to be ripped pieces to go with that kind of imprecise edge around the cardstock. But I absolutely love this for a background paper. So once again, we're not putting them down in the same order as page 1. So, it doesn't have to be exactly like page 1, but it's, certainly coordinating with page 1. A lot of that stripe going around, isn't it? A whole lot of it. And that's a nice vine. And then this piece is tone on tone. And there's actually a page that looks very much like this. And on the back side of it is the coral tone on tone. That's very similar to that side. So, and look at how nice that, see, that has kind of a whitewashed watercolor wash look to that side of this cardstock. So that's exclusive to this particular paper collection, not selection, but collection. So one side looks textured because it's kind of got almost a weave to it. So that side, and it's darker. And it's a little modelly, so it's not flat, it's not a flat color. So it just adds interest. And then the other side is the kind of watercolor look. Once again, this cardstock is exclusive to this paper only. Our cardstocks don't normally look like this. They're just a flat color cardstock. So I'm adding just a little bit of space in between that and the journaling edge. I like this cardstock so much that before it goes out on June 30th, that's the last that you'll be able to get this cardstock and paper pack, the Hope and Kindness paper and scrapbook bundles and card making bundles. But I'm going to get some more of that cardstock just because it's really, really beautiful. And I think that it's kind of introducing maybe what might be a new color. And it's that dark, dark green. It's called pine. And we don't have pine. So I'm thinking maybe it's a precursor to our new selections and collections and cardstock and colors that will be coming out at September 1. We don't change all of our colors out, but we change about, approximately 10 of the 40 colors that we have. So we always have new colors to look forward to. I think I decided to get precise. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here. I'm putting it looks like it's about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. And I'm trying to get it centered. Here, that's my centering ruler. So I put it down. It looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch of space going around. Not 1/4 of an inch. It's about 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm putting the white daisy, but I don't know that I do that for all of them because for some reason I don't have more cut. So I'm going to put one of my little flower bouquets on the little title there. Beautiful, dream big. Can't read the smaller letters, I have to tell you. My eyes are getting really bad. It's smile. So here we go, adding some more flowers. And I like this one because it's got some blueberries on it. They are so pretty. So once again, I made sure that my adhesive is away from where a picture would fit under there. And so if you want to do a good collection, like up here, we've got 3 flowers. Let's see, what am I doing here? Oh, I'm just kind of blotting some color to go under that corner there. Just as a little background for that little doily. And I bet you that's going to go right up there. What do you bet? Honestly, that liquid glass is so strong, just a little tiny dot of it will hold. It just literally hardens like glass. I mean, it's just, you're not going to find a stronger, I don't think you're going to find a stronger glue than that for scrapbooking. So obviously for industrial, that's a different story. So I'm punching out some more of the little hearts there. And I was looking for, sometimes these things are a little hard to find because there's so many different things on there. There's a dotted heart, which probably was where I was supposed to put that one heart that I was making dots. But I didn't see it because there's just so many things attached to this die cut sheet. A ton of things. I should have counted them. It's like a bazillion maybe. So I'm going to add a little bitty pop-up to that little heart. And then I'm just going to put the 3x3 photo holders. So these are just, you don't have to put those down. You can just put whatever, you know, cut out your pictures the way you want and put them there. But this is just a quickie for me to say, okay, you know, crop your pictures to 3x3 or 4x4 or 3 1/4 by, or 3x4. So it's just a little reminder is all it is. And you don't even have to leave them on there. If you just put like a little spot there, then you can pull them off. So you could just put one spot in the middle as just kind of to hold it in place and give you a little memory jog. So this has really turned out quite pretty. We have a tiny little stamp that says love going right there. We might be done. I'm putting away all my stuff. That might be a clue. So there we go. I hope you like this. I think these were really, they're a lot of work, but they came together beautifully. And so just as a reminder, whatever you do, don't get frustrated when you see how much work there is for cutting, but mostly the sorting. If you cut and sort, I'm telling you, if you cut and sort, you got it made. So I think they're really lovely, lovely pages. And I hope you like them. I hope you consider getting them before they're not available any longer. And it's while supplies last. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.